What up, YouTube? Saiforce, aka the Saiforcer. I just want to talk about some. Um, I do Uber, and I had a customer. I'm cool like that. You can talk to me about anything. So I had a customer. He said, now that y'all have the first black president, do you feel like white people still owe you something? I said, well, the problem is we don't understand history. Because the whole design of America was for the Chinese to build the railroads, to take the land from Mexico, well, to have a war, so a legal taking of bloodshed, and finally $15 million they gave Mexico. Um, Also, taking it from the Native Americans and enslaving blacks. So they did all this so they could secure a country for them, for the Europeans coming over here. It wasn't like, oh, after we steal the land and enslave people, we're gonna give it all back to them. No, they had to be convinced. Some of them had to be convinced. Some of them had to be progressively convinced that you got to treat humanity like a family, because that's what scientifically or religiously we are, either from Adam and Eve or from the first from the first cell. We're all related, and we're all of the same species, so we need to treat each other like that, like family, and learn from the lessons from Cain and Abel, because the first son and the first two sons committed brother on brother crime, and we haven't stopped since. So we need to learn from that lesson and treat people like humanity. And we actually taught, won people over to that, but they never owed us anything. According to their intent was this country to be theirs. That was the whole intent. The intent wasn't for them to share it after they're done with it. Now, another distinction another customer gave to me, and I'm gonna add this on to the conversation, is, like, for a black person walking around blaming every white person, for 400 years of slavery, is like a Jew walking around blaming every German for Nazi Germany. None of us had nothing to do with that. None of us today had nothing to do with slavery. The whites, so some whites do have had profit over the slaves, and the money still today. If their money is still today, then it was multiplying and multiplying and multiplying, because that's the nature of money. Everything costs all the time, including property taxes. So you either making your money grow, or it's leaking out of your pockets. So those whites you don't even see. They're too busy making the policies of the country. You don't even see those whites. So you shouldn't even worry about them. You shouldn't even worry about them at all. Those whites at all. And really focus on how you can make your life better. Because wealth is a mind state. Whatever you think you deserve, you earned yesterday. Whatever you think you deserve, you earned yesterday. And I say yesterday because don't try to make it seem like, oh, I deserve this and that. You come to the realization that you deserve millions, and you're going to say it right here and now. No, what you earned yesterday is what you thought you deserved, because it's a subconscious. The subconscious works like this. It works like your heart or your lungs. It's beating all the time. Your subconscious is spewing out thoughts all the time. It makes you make mistakes. It makes you accidentally find successful people to change your life forever. This is the power of the subconscious mind, which was playing in your head over and over again. And a lot of childhood traumatizations play in your head over and over again until you resolve it, until you put forth a new type of programming inside your subconscious mind. So that's the basis of this universe. The universe starts from what inside here. The whole entire infinite universe starts inside here. You could get a spaceship and you could travel the universe and see the center and try to find the center point, and you could waste your time like that, or you could fucking meditate, or you could pray, or you could believe, or you could have faith. This is lessons of the Bible, not to be Christian or preachy or anything, but the Bible gave you the secrets to the whole entire universe: prayer, meditation, and looking within yourself. So, and yeah, just to get back to my original point, whites don't owe us anything. You know what I'm saying? We never look. Why would you sit around and wait for somebody to give you something, let alone a so-called enemy, someone you think is your enemy? You waiting for your so-called enemy to give you something? Yeah, are the Crips waiting for the Bloods to break bread with them, or is the U.S. waiting for is ISIS waiting for the U.S. to give them money and opportunity? You can't expect an enemy to tip his king. If you're playing chess, you can't expect your opponent to tip his king just because. You got to put pressure on him, or he's going to put pressure on you, period, point blank. Period, point blank. So black people was at its strongest when we was putting pressure on this country. But don't expect. But the pressure about treating us as equals, you obviously don't understand the Lincoln versus Douglas debates, and I suggest you all dig deep into that debate, because the debate was like this. It was like this. Douglas was like, look, there was going for a state legislator in Chicago, and Illinois, state legislator in Illinois. And Douglas was like this: you shouldn't vote on this dude. This dude wants blacks to be freed and equal, and they didn't even say blacks, it's Negroes. They want the Negroes to be free and equal, and neighbors, and living next door, and fondling your daughters, and all this. And Lincoln like, no. I'm just saying, free states that want to keep blacks, Negroes, so-called Negroes, freed, should keep them freed, and states that have them enslaved, keep them enslaved. I'm not trying to take your property away from you. That's the equivalent right now of taking your house from you, or taking your car from you. You know what I'm saying? You don't want the government be like, government like this: if you don't pay your registration, we taking your car. You don't pay your taxes, we taking your house. So let's say you paid all your taxes, you paid all your registration, and they still want to take your house, and they still want to take your car. Then you're like, what the fuck, right? So that's what Lincoln was coming through. Lincoln was coming like that. I know that sounds harsh and horrible, but that was the law of the day. They didn't have human rights law. You can't judge people from yesterday of the laws today. You just can't do that. 70 years ago, statutory rape was not a law. 70 years ago, statutory rape was not a law. It was for thousands of years common that a 16-year-old get married to a grown man. Common law. It was common. It was expected. It was the thing to do. It was in the Bible. It was the thing to do. Jesus never touched on that subject. It was the thing to do. It had to take women to say, hey, this is unfair for us. We need a change. It took women to say that. Their opinion is, no, she's way too young. So that I'm just saying, I can't judge today. Oh, they did statutory rape 200 years ago. They're monsters. No. That was the law of the land. You only get away with, so much. Right now, murder is legal for police. Murder is legal for the military. Murder is legal for, Dr. Kevorkian. So 1,000 years ago, we'll be judged. 100 years in the future, we'll be judged. 1,000 years in the future, we'll be judged. But don't try to judge people for the laws of today and stuff. So, yeah, white people don't owe us shit. It's up to me to get mine. Period. It's up to me to get mine. It's up to you to get yours. It's up to you. It's up to you. It's not up to nobody else. It's not up to your mommy. It's not up to your daddy. It's not up to Uncle Sam. It's not up to the white man. It's not up to the black man. It's up to you. What you thinking between your ears is how you gonna get paid. Period. Point blank. Peace.